The question that will plague me for the rest of my damn life is how the hell did people like this movie? Oh God, I'm so confused. The beautiful thing about movies is the fact that we can all watch the exact same thing and walk away with vastly different experiences. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel, King Nikki TV, where I give you commentary on popular movies and TV shows. In this video, I will be giving you the top 5 most overrated movies of 2022. This will be the final video in my best and worst of 2022 series. If you haven't, make sure you check out that playlist for my top 10 best movies, top 10 worst movies, best and worst TV ranked, and all of my 2022 thoughts on movies and TV for that year. I will link the card to the left. I will also put a link to that playlist in the description box. If you feel there were some overrated movies that came out in 2022 that I do not make mention of in this video, well, let's discuss it down in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts, or if you feel that any of the movies I mentioned as overrated are actually movies that lived up to the hype. Let's discuss that as well. I want to know how you feel about these movies. Let's talk about it in the comments. Now, let's get right into it. Coming in at number 5, Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, a comedy crime mystery thriller. Famed Southern detective Benoit Blanc travels to Greece for his latest case. Now, I actually enjoyed this movie. Glass Onion is a good one, but the way that folks are hyping it up and raving about it, no, sorry, it's overrated. First of all, the mystery was so freaking easy to solve. The mystery in Glass Onion reminds me of the mysteries in those Encyclopedia Brown books that I used to solve when I was a kid. Now, Glass Onion gave us a fun mystery, an entertaining group of suspects. I enjoyed how the mystery and the story was laid out for us and the way that everything unfolded, but come on, child. It was easy. None of the twists are particularly creative or interesting. I mean, the twin thing, really? Something in your pocket saving you from a bullet? Really? Dave Bautista only showing Edward Norton his phone when old girl asked to see it, and Edward Norton being the one sitting right next to Dave Bautista when he accidentally drinks from his glass. Y'all, it was all right there. Like, everything was right there. It was all really very elementary. And y'all, the biggest of all, Daniel Craig's accent that had public. Excuse me, sir, we don't talk like that. Southerners do not sound like that. Daniel Craig's accent was annoying and extremely distracting, but I halfway don't know if the accent is supposed to be terrible. He sounds like an old plantation owner. It's a very weird accent. Baby, why was Daniel Craig in a pool in a whole entire damn short set? What was that? Also, I love Janelle Monáe to death, but baby can't act. I'm sorry. Baby can't act. And I hate to have to say that because I love her, but it's the acting is bad. I'm sorry, but her performance really brought the movie down for me. But what really killed this movie for me was the ending. So Janelle Monáe's character just wrecks the room. That's it. The movie gets very slapstick and silly and fun, but this scene felt really anticlimactic and even childish. And then after reaching out to everyone to have her back, when Edward Norton burns that napkin, no one has her back. But then having no one step up in that moment, suddenly because she smashes stuff, they all follow suit. Why? I didn't get the motivation there. The ending fell really flat, but overall, I did enjoy Glass Onion. I had fun with this movie. It was entertaining. However, the way folks are hyping this movie and taunting it as like this great film in the mystery genre, sorry babes, no, the mystery is painfully obvious tired and elementary. Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, is fun and entertaining. It starts with an eccentric and interesting group of suspects and an intriguing story and setup, but the movie didn't keep the momentum and it really didn't do much with the mystery, the generic mystery. And I feel like having such a generic mystery, the third act should have had much more of a bang because the entertainment factor needed to shine bright enough to cloud the simple mystery. Now, coming in at number 4, Crimes of the Future. Drama, horror, sci-fi set in a future where humans have evolved to where they feel no pain. Viggo Mortensen is part of a performance team that performs open surgery for entertainment. Because there isn't any pain or infection, this is plausible. Viggo Mortensen has evolved to where he randomly grows organs. This movie is weird to say the least. They are tattooing organs, having open surgery, and surgery is the new sex. Maybe I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but I understand a lot of this movie. Okay, what does pain have to do with infection? I mean, even if you don't feel pain, why does that mean you can't get an infection? Am I just slow? I can completely follow what it would do to humans to not be able to feel pain. But baby, why did one man have like 50 ears put all over his body with his mouth and his eyes sewn shut and was like dancing? I didn't get it. I didn't get it. Why was Viggo Mortensen's character dressed like a ninja with his entire body covered except his eyes? Like, why was he dressing like that? What did that mean? There's a lot of commentary here that I just don't get. And this is that movie where you have to like research and look deep into the movie and its meanings and its symbolism. But the movie just ain't that fun or compelling enough for me to even care to do any of that. I feel like even if I understood the symbolism, the movie itself is just very drab. Now, the part of the movie that I did like was the little subplot with Scott Speedman's character. He has a son who eats plastic. That's how the movie opens up. The son is murdered by his wife, who believes this isn't really her child. She calls it like a thing. Scott Speedman is a part of a group who eats plastic. It's like these plastic bars, right? They feel that humans are evolving to eat plastic. Viggo Mortensen's character is sick, has trouble eating, and but he doesn't buy into Scott Speedman's little group and all that stuff with the plastic bar. Now, Viggo is working with an FBI or government agent or whatever to give them intel. We have 2 girls kill some guy in his apartment. I didn't even follow that. I don't know. But anyway, I don't know who that guy was or why they killed him. But the point is, the 2 girls kill Scott Speedman. And in the end, Viggo ends up eating the plastic bar from that group. And he actually is better. And he finds that he has evolved, like Scott Speedman said, to digest plastic. Child, Viggo eats the bar and the damn movie just ends. I don't like movies that just end abruptly. It doesn't feel like an actual conclusion to the story. It just feels like it just ends. Now, I know folks like to proclaim how smart they are and how elevated their movie tastes are. So look, maybe I'm an idiot moviegoer and I just didn't get in the movie, but I don't get all the rave reviews. And if humans have evolved, how come old boy at the bar eats the plastic bar and like falls out and dies? Or is it something where all of us humans don't evolve? Just some? I don't know. I'm not smart. The story for me is confusing and convoluted. The performances, minus Viggo Mortensen, Scott Speedman, and the black guy who played the FBI agent, besides them, all of the performances were pretty terrible for me. I'm sorry. Viggo's partner was really dull. She did not match his energy and talent in the scenes that they had together. Kirsten Stewart is just always boring and dull. I'm sorry. But her partner, that actor, was really good. I don't know his name. I like David Cronenberg, few of his movies, The Fly, Scanners, but baby, I don't know what it was. I feel like you can create something that's smart and requires the audience to think, i.e., I don't know, 12 Monkeys or Inception maybe. You can create something where the audience has to think without creating something convoluted and just way too, it's like it's just trying too hard. But hey, maybe it was just a little too out there for me, and but minus the story and me just not getting the world that's set up here. Personally, the visuals, the execution, most of the characters, there were no like real entertaining factors here for me. Crimes of the Future is a weird but not captivating or interesting movie. The opening scene was really good here. And if I could have just gotten Scott Speedman's little side plot as the main story and maybe just Vigo and his organ stuff as the side plot, I might have walked away with different feelings on this movie. I have seen the movie Tenet about 3 times and I still cannot tell you what the hell that movie is about. I have a clue. That movie is confusing for the sake of being confusing, but I love that movie because the execution was so good. I am entertained as I watch it. I might be confused, but I'm entertained. The characters were exciting to watch and everything that was happening on screen was engaging. The dialogue was captivating in Tenet, even though I didn't know what the hell they were talking about half the motherfucking time. But with Crimes of the Future, honestly, I kept falling asleep. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, that's why I'm like, maybe I missed stuff. Like when I didn't know why old boy got killed, I kept falling asleep. But hey, take my opinion with a grain of salt because maybe I'm just a dumb old movie goer. Coming in at number 3 is X, a horror movie about a group of young adults renting out a house from an old couple to film their adult movie. This is one of the ones where all the horror fans done been raving about X. So when I finally went to see it, I just knew I was going to be in for a treat. Now, it starts interesting enough. We have cops at a pretty gruesome crime scene. Then we get introduced to our group of characters, fine enough characters, setting out to make an artistic adult film. I get and even enjoy the commentary here pertaining to making an artistic adult film, i.e. maybe making an artistic slasher or horror, but child, baby, nothing happened in this movie. It wasn't no horror. Literally, y'all, an hour into the movie and no one had been killed yet. Are you freaking kidding? Like, nothing happened for an entire hour. We were just watching them film their movie and it wasn't that entertaining. Yeah, the old lady being a little like odd was creepy. She like waved, but okay. There wasn't anything interesting going on. Honestly, I can barely even remember the damn movie and what happened in that first hour, and I've seen the movie twice. Old girl was damn singing in the living room while they was all sitting around like, baby, what are we doing? What's going on here? Then an hour into the damn movie, the sound girl suddenly wanted to be in the movie. Her boyfriend, who was like the producer, director, whatever the hell, child, I can't remember. He gets upset because she wanted to be in the movie. And he decides to leave in their only transportation. And he's the first one to get killed. And it's honestly a pretty generic kill. He gets stabbed in the neck. I don't know. There's nothing to write home about with that. Granted, the actual scene was really good. I liked how they did the red glow over the scene. But all the kills were extremely generic. The next guy gets like stabbed in the eye. And they foreshadowed showing us he was going to step on a nail. Like, someone gets tossed in the water with the crocodile, the alligator. I always mix crocodiles and alligators up. One of them was in there. And somebody gets shot. Which that was a really cool scene of like her shot off face mouth. I appreciated the commentary on aging, but nothing happened in the whole damn movie. And once the action started, it wasn't anything to write home about. Baby, what am I missing, y'all? Like, Was it a well-made movie? Yeah, whatever. But nothing was happening. Number 2, Barbarian. Another horror movie they was raving about. A movie about a woman staying at an Airbnb who discovers things are not what they seem. X and Barbarian. The 2 movies where horror fans was like, oh, this has been the year for horror. Oh my God. Now, while the final act of X was enjoyable enough, there really wasn't anything I liked or enjoyed about Barbarian. Nothing. Talk about nothing happening. Barbarian teetered between boring and tedious to flat out ridiculous. A female traveling by herself rents an Airbnb with no research of the area in the slightest, no Google Street View of where she gonna be staying. Okay. And the way they make it plausible for Tess to stay with a stranger, one convention in an entire metropolitan city, got every single solitary hotel booked to capacity? No, sir, I don't buy it. But also the whole, it's a bad neighborhood. Baby, there was a nice car outside for days and it wasn't stolen, broken into, or vandalized. Nigga, the neighborhood ain't that bad. And the nice house in the bad neighborhood never gets broken into, no squatters or anything. Nobody ever try and break in and steal nothing. We literally just watched Tess and Keith sip wine and do damn laundry for a bulk of the film. We literally watched Tess go to a goddamn job interview. Where was the horror? The first night, Tess' room door opens by itself and Keith is literally yelling and screaming and crapping his sleep. All of that goes absolutely nowhere. It meant absolutely nothing to the story. What was the point? We have a strange man running up to Tess, little girl, come here. Because yeah, that is exactly a great, perfect way to tell somebody they're in danger. Then Tess getting locked in the basement, getting freaked out, wanting to leave, but keep saying, I didn't see what you saw. Who gives a fuck if he saw what you saw? Bitch, get out of there. It was a room with a bucket and a bed, and he don't understand why she's freaking out. But why does Tess need to convince him of anything? They don't even know each other. Why does he care if she leaves? Girl, just go. So after all the nothing, the horror comes, and it's one of the people from The Hills Have Eyes, naked. So the lady from Incest and the old man are living in the basement. How did his house ever even get sold if he didn't sell it? When did he decide to leave upstairs and start living in the basement? How did they eat and survive? Shouldn't they both be weak and malnourished? Whatever the hell, child. So incest gives you superhuman strength? I'm so confused. It just all felt ridiculous and silly. If the lady, the mother, wants these people to be her baby, then why the hell did she just kill Keith on sight? Now, after a bulk of nothing, we get about 5 minutes of action, and then we get another character introduction. And we have to watch Justin Long partying in the club and talking on the damn phone, child. And I was so sick of the direct dependent to that damn plugged in toothbrush. That was on my nerve. What the hell was the point of that? An entire car is sitting right outside the damn house. Suitcases, laptops, all kind of ish in the house. And we just go to hell to sleep. Okay. You cannot have folks stumbling around in the damn dark and call it scary. The story makes absolutely no sense. The characters make the dumbest decisions. Even the rookie cops should know that glass broken outward is different than glass broken inward. And old girl car was right out front. Can't you just run her plates? You cannot have Justin Long sucking on the damn prosthetic nipple in the dark and call that it's scary. And then Tess left a voicemail with the rental company night 1. Did they never get back with her? And her and Keith was supposed to call the rental company the next morning. Did that never happen? And then the whole flashlight flickering on and off in the dark, oldest trick in the book. But what really took the cake was defying the damn laws of gravity. When Tess is thrown off that building and she falls for about a good 5 seconds, before Mother comes jumping after her. But somehow Mother lands first with Tess on top of her body. And because of inbreeding, Mother survives this fall. I am so confused by all the love and praise for Barbarian. It was boring, tedious, uninteresting, ridiculous, outlandish. The second the black guy said, she ain't never come up in here before, it was so obvious. Baby was finna bust through the damn wall the second he said that. That was so obvious. It's mediocre and even slapstick and silly. Baby, this ain't horror. Did I know exactly what was in the basement? No, I didn't. But the reveal was not very scary in the slightest. So much was introduced that didn't even matter. The most boring and uninteresting characters. Then we get introduced to an obnoxious character. The entire plot was just so nonsensical. And I literally watched this continuously thinking, where is the damn horror? The question that will plague me for the rest of my damn life is how the hell did people like this movie? Oh God, I'm so confused. I really am. And sometimes I cannot like a movie, but I can get why people like it. But as bad as Barbarian was, the number one most overrated movie of 2022, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. An action, adventure, comedy, fantasy, sci-fi movie about an aging Chinese woman who is swept up in an insane adventure in which she alone can save the world by exploring other universes, connecting the lives she could have led. Another movie I found very boring. I wasn't pulled into the family dynamic or the characters in the slightest. I did enjoy Jamie Lee Curtis in this initially. When I first was watching it, I didn't even recognize that was Jamie Lee Curtis until I was hearing her voice, and I was like, wait, that's Jamie Lee Curtis. So I love that. I love when I get an actor in a role that I don't even recognize them at first. We got some good moments and interesting ideas, but it literally felt like they just took everything they could think of and just threw it all into this movie with no real cohesion. Like Crimes of the Future, I found this one really weird, and maybe I'm just not a fan of weird. Why did old boy eat the chapstick? Also, what happened to the dad? The dad in the first universe at the tax office, security is called, and her dad in his wheelchair just disappears. Or did I miss something? Along with being weird, it was really, really freaking stupid. The hot dog fingers and sticking stuff up their butt. Yeah, just not my cup of tea. The action was all really silly for me. The hallway scene with Joy and security was silly. I can't think of another word but silly. The movie felt choppy and frenzied. It didn't flow. There was just so much thrown at us, and it felt all over the place. They were really ambitious. I'll give them credit for that, but it felt like they were just throwing everything at the wall and just seeing what would stick. I do feel like once you comb through all the noise and insanity and ridiculousness of the movie, there is a heart to the story, but it felt like the movie went all the way around the block just to make its point, and it wasn't fun going around the block. Like, we took the long way around to say one thing. For the movie to finally, say what it was trying to say the whole time, the movie was too damn long and drawn out. The narrative was complex for no reason. It just felt convoluted. The moment I thought I was on one ride of the narrative strand, then all of a sudden I would be pulled into a whole nother thing. The movie for me was just exhausting. Like I said, though, there is a heart to the film towards the end. I really enjoyed Evelyn's husband's speech about, I know you think I'm weak, but I'm fighting with kindness. The husband in the universe at the movie premiere and the husband at the tax office universe pleading for them to stop fighting. I enjoyed what they had to say. I really enjoyed what the movie was saying in those moments which I took as the point of the movie and everything it was trying to say overall. I also really loved Evelyn's speech to Joy outside the laundromat. I loved having a middle-aged woman as our lead. We don't really see that often in an action. Now, the black hole final showdown scene started off really cool, but then they had to just go for silly, child, and it lost me. The silly was ramped up to the motherfucking max on this one. Y'all, why were they in that little van? I didn't understand that. And what is a vibrating superposition? Look, I get it. Yes, humans are small and stupid, but the rock scene, I couldn't. I couldn't. I feel like Everything, Everywhere, All at Once is the type of movie where people just don't want to look stupid and say they don't get it, so everybody just jump on a bandwagon. But I'm not scared to look stupid, so I'll be the one to say it. I ain't get it. I was bored, confused, disgusted. So much was just so absurd and completely Looney Tune. The humor just was not for me. I watched this movie because folks were saying things like, oh, it's one of the best movies of all time. Look, great performances. Everyone is really talented. But child, this was a mess. It was a mess. The beautiful thing about movies is the fact that we can all watch the exact same thing and walk away with vastly different experiences. For me, the top movies that folks were raving about in 2022, man, I didn't have a very good experience with them. And let me just say, when it comes to X and Barbarian, one of my favorite movies of all time, a movie that is damn near perfect, From Dusk Till Dawn. Essentially, you have this vampire movie, right? But it takes forever for the vampires to actually show up. My first time seeing Dusk Till Dawn, I didn't spend the bulk of the movie bored and saying, where are the vampires? Because that first act is so freaking engaging and entertaining, and we have characters that we are enjoying. You really have a completely different movie, the first act of that. It's more crime drama. We get introduced to Gecko Brothers, and then we get another character introduction with the family, right? Like Barbarian, we get character introductions, then we get another character introduction. So I don't want to hear comments about having to introduce characters or set stuff up. The matter of the fact is, I spent much of X and Barbarian bored and just waiting for somebody to damn get killed because the script and dialogue was so lackluster and the characters weren't very dynamic. So I just was wanting something to happen to entertain me, hence wanting kills to happen. But anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Did you agree or did you disagree with my most overrated movies of 2022? Let me know all of your thoughts and feelings. As always, thank you so much for supporting the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.